Hi, it's Carissa, and I am back with the next card from the soldier cards that I did, and it is this card here that I used. I used some retired colors on this one, so I've changed the colors on this, and well, you know, we were doing it where we were kicking it up a notch, right? So this is, I'm kind of not sure where I'm going with this, so I have, you know, like these elements cut out in some different colors. And so we'll just see how it kind of ends up. So I have my craft card base here, and I have the brown layer cut to fit that. This time I embossed it with a polka dot pattern because I just felt like as I was, you know, thinking this through and looking at it that it was getting too heavy feeling, and I wanted to lighten it up. So I did that with the polka dots, and I'm just going to take the Whisper White craft pad and just kind of drag it along here. And I'm just going to set that aside because it is craft ink. It takes a little while to dry. And I'm going to start working on the other elements of my card. And I'll show you what I meant by all this stuff cut out. Now, when I was looking at this, I was like, I really like this paper. A little bit goes a long way. But I really like this paper as well because it matches, it coordinates with the stamps that I'm going to use. So, and then I started looking and I'm like, okay, I first had the green and the brown, and I'm like, with the brown background, it just felt really heavy. So I don't know. I'm just going to kind of start going with this and see what happens. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use this paper here. This is, both of these are from the Merry Moments. This is actually the back side of the one that I used from the other one. And I'm going to put it on the red card. The next piece that I have to work on is I have this scallop circle, and it was cut using the big scallop, or the scallop circles, I don't know, I'll put it on the bottom of the screen, but from Stampin' Up! Carries it, so it's the one that has 2 scallop circles on it. So this is the larger one of those, and then this circle is a 3-inch circle. So however you cut your circles when you're card making, whether it's a, you know, die cutting machine or a circle cutter or whatever. I always start by stamping on my cardstock before I mount it to what it's going to be on, because if I mess up, I can flip it over and start again. So the strings for the ornaments on my circle. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the ornaments. And I have Garden Green and Real Red for that. And the 2 other ornaments are going to be stamped in the Real Red. This one, I love these stamps. By the way, this tree trimming stamp set, I love it because it's very traditional, but if you made, I didn't like that one. If you make the colors kind of funky, you know, you could funkify it, I guess, and you know, it doesn't have to be so traditional, but you see the really traditional patterns. So, and this set is, you know, a more inexpensive set. So, and it has a lot of possibilities. So, it really doesn't matter how I stamp these on here because I'm going to cut them out. So, all right, so I have my ornaments cut out, and the next thing I want to add is just some sponging around some of these pieces. All right. So I have my pieces sponged and I have my ornaments cut out, and now I can just start, you know, kind of adhering this together. So I'll just put some snail adhesive on the back of this circle and put it on there like that. And you know what, actually, before I go ahead and put these ornaments on, I'm gonna put dimensionals on the back of those and pop those up. I'm gonna take my white gel pen, and I had 2 options on this. This was either gel pin it, as I'll say, or pierce it. And I decided to go with a gel pin on this. My thought was that I think either way it would be very cute. Okay, so that's all done, and what I actually ended up doing on this one was I alternated kind of a stitch and then a dot and then a stitch and a dot, and maybe I'll try to bring this up so you can see that better. So rather than doing a complete stitch, and that kind of just, I thought, brought those together. So then I'll go ahead and put these on, and I'm just going to grab a bunch of these on my finger and see what I need here. you can see that those are now like popped up off of there, so it has some dimension. But also, these ended up hanging off the edge here, but I kind of liked it. It was a happy accident. I didn't mean to stamp these down so far that this would hang off the edge, but I have to say I really like it. So there's that, and this is starting to come together here, so I hope you're seeing it. I can probably move this scratch paper out of the way now. And I'm just going to start putting this on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this down. So that was another thought I had in my head, you know, do I want to add ribbon? And a lot of you say that you like to see my creative process, so that's why I kind of don't have a concrete plan when I go into it. I have the pieces I think I'm going to use, but you saw that I had, you know, a couple different pieces of designer paper at the beginning of this video. So that goes there. And then this, I could pop it up again, and this could be up a little bit, and I really like that, so I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to use dimensionals for this. My gut tells me don't do it because it's going to be so thick, but sometimes I just want to do it. Goes like right, where do we want it? Down further? Okay. There's that, and I just have to figure out where I'm going to put my sentiment. This looks crooked. Does that look crooked to you? I don't know. Maybe I'm just, yeah, it totally looks crooked. Okay, I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so I have my Merry Christmas stamp from Teeny Tiny Wishes, and I have my go-to punches, which are my word window punch and my modern label punch. I use these a lot. They're good. I like them. And then I just, once I do that, I punch my sentiment out. And because I sponged the other stuff, I'm going to sponge that as well. And then sponge that. Okay, I'm having a hard time with this. I don't know if you can hear Beverly Hills Chihuahua in the background, but that is what my daughter is watching right now. I can hear it in my room. Then I'm just going to add some little dots on here. Just kind of tie that in. I'm wondering if I should go all the way across there. And then what I think I'll do is put that just hanging off the edge there. I like that. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do the dot. Okay, and there is my version. Here's the original, simple, fast, no dimension, no sponging, no anything. And here is my kicked up version with some dimensionals, some, you know, hand gel pinning, and that sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.